In cybersecurity, rumors can spread faster than facts. Recently, headlines claimed a massive Gmail breach with hundreds of millions of passwords supposedly compromised. This sparked panic. After all, Gmail is central to our digital lives. The narrative was terrifying. Attackers had allegedly broken into Google's servers, exposing over 183 million credentials. But let's pause. The reality is more nuanced. The story gained traction after a huge trove of email addresses and passwords appeared in Have I Been Pwned, my breach notification service. But finding Gmail credentials in a breach database doesn't mean Google itself was hacked. It means those credentials were found in a collection of stolen data, often from other, less secure sites. Google quickly and firmly denied any breach of their systems. They clarified, their infrastructure remains uncompromised. There's a big difference between a direct breach of Gmail and the aggregation of credentials stolen elsewhere. One would mean a catastrophic failure at Google, the other points to a widespread problem of credential theft across the internet. So, what really happened? Let's look at the evidence. Not all headlines tell the full story. Understanding the source of these rumors is key to knowing what's actually at risk. Google's stance is clear. There was no direct breach of Gmail. The leaked credentials didn't come from Google's servers, but from a patchwork of other compromised sites and malware-infected devices. Cybercriminals compile these lists from countless sources, not just one big hack. Many people reuse passwords, so their Gmail credentials end up in these dumps even if Google wasn't hacked. Google actually uses these leaked lists to protect users, cross-referencing them to force password resets if needed. This is a defensive move, not evidence of a breach. Credential theft is rampant, and every new dump reignites fears, but the real issue is password reuse and weak security elsewhere. Gmail remains secure. The problem is the broader ecosystem of stolen credentials. Don't confuse a credential dump with a direct attack on Google. The threat is real, but it's not what the headlines suggest. When I loaded this massive data set into Have I Been Pwned, most of the credentials, over 90%, were already known from previous breaches. This wasn't a new catastrophic event, but a recycled combo list used for credential stuffing attacks. These lists are built from old breaches, deduplicated, and sold to criminals. However, about 16.4 million email addresses were new to Have I Been Pwned. For those users, this was the first sign their credentials had been exposed. This mix of old and new data shows the ongoing nature of credential theft. The internet's security landscape is always shifting, with new victims every day. This data set is just a snapshot of that reality. It's a reminder. Credential theft is persistent and evolving. Much of this stolen data comes from info-stealer malware. Unlike ransomware, info-stealers quietly grab credentials saved in browsers, email apps, and more. Infection can happen through malicious downloads, phishing emails, or compromised websites. Once inside, the malware collects all stored logins and sends them to criminals. These credentials are then bundled into massive lists. Your Gmail password might be stolen alongside logins for forums, banks, or social media. Most new credentials in recent dumps likely came from infected personal computers, not Google's servers. The threat is personal device compromise, not a breach of Gmail itself. The dataset behind the recent panic is called NAS API, a huge text file with billions of email and password pairs. It's a credential stuffing list designed for automated attacks. NAS API isn't new, but its scale is unprecedented, combining old breach data with fresh credentials from info-stealer malware. For 16.4 million people, this was their first exposure in Have I Been Pwned. Their risk is now higher, as their credentials are in a widely circulated, criminally organized list. The real danger isn't a Gmail hack, but the industrialization of credential theft. NAS API makes it easier for attackers to target any service, not just Gmail. This escalation means users must be more vigilant than ever. The headlines were wrong about a Gmail breach, but the threat from these lists is very real. Protecting your accounts is now more critical than ever. Gmail is one of the most secure platforms online, with billions invested in defense and top-tier engineers on guard. Google's multi-layered security detects and blocks suspicious activity at scale. Automated systems flag unusual logins and known breached passwords, often requiring extra verification. When big dumps like NAS API appear, Google cross-checks them to protect users, sometimes forcing password resets. This proactive approach turns stolen data into a defense tool. Still, no system is perfect. User habits matter. Google's defenses are strong, but your own security practices are crucial. The weakest link is often the user, not the platform. Don't panic. Take action. Enable two-step verification, multi-factor authentication, on your Gmail and other important accounts. Use an authenticator app or a physical security key for the best protection. Consider setting up passkeys, which are even more secure than passwords. Never reuse passwords. Use a password manager to generate and store unique ones for every site. Check "Have I been pwned" to see if your email has appeared in a breach. If you get a breach notification, change your password immediately, everywhere you used it. Stay informed and proactive. By enabling MFA, using strong, unique passwords, and responding quickly to breach alerts, you can protect yourself, even when your data is caught up in massive dumps. Your digital security is in your hands.